Hello and welcome here to Brackenmore for the final pre-season this summer between Stocksbridge Park Steels and Barnsley FC. I'm your commentator, Adam Allcroft, today for this match. It's just 5 days until the start of the season proper. That away trip to Stockton as we go and repeat that match that we had all the way back at the end of April when we lost on a penalty shootout. It was heartbreaking. Time for some revenge on Saturday, but this is the final game before that, just a final test, the final time to get some minutes in the legs, as the old cliche say, and make sure this team is as ready as they can be going into this new season. Stocksbridge, for the first time in a long time, have expectations on their shoulders going into this new season. So it's definitely going to be interesting to see. So I'm just getting told not even our vice chairman wants to sit in front of me. But what will be music to today is that if you are listening to commentary today, please do get in touch and sponsor us. We will let you know some details during the match and how you can sponsor us. So we are just getting very close to getting Barnsley set to kick off. We don't have the Barnsley team. We'll run through the Stocksbridge team shortly after kick-off for you. So Barnsley have certainly caught the eye as Barnsley kick us off. So Barnsley in the red kit with white stars on it. It's certainly a sight to see that one. They're kicking from right to left, while Stocksbridge Park Steels in the yellow shirt, blue shorts, and yellow and blue socks kicking from left to right. The Stocksbridge team is as follows. It's Ben Townsend in goal, Bailey Ty Baker, Jack Tinker, Mitch Langton, Charlie Oglesby, Luke Hogg, Ross Goodwin, Oliver Novak, Luke Rawson, Thomas Poole, and Ife Efebu. Ball goes long from Barnsley. I think that Jallo there, the number 9, who's very highly rated. Goodwin's just gone in there in the left back for Barnsley. He's going forward. Goodwin no wins the tackle. Goodwin sends it long. It's clipped, but Rawson gets it back to Poole. Poole's going to look for McCaskill with the ball, but it's a bit too ahead of him. It's going to go back to the Barnsley goalkeeper here. We will try and see what we can find out from the team of the Barnsley Academy. They did have a media person last year where I got the team from. Don't have teams to not be here this year. Ball going long. Knocked down by the 9, Jallo. To the left-hand side, ball clip long. Going to be the left-back trying to chase onto it. Baker gets first touch, but he's forced backwards. Getting a bit of a shove in the back. Nothing given, but Baker able to turn and clear it upfield. Poole's going to allow it bounce over his head. Goes to Rawson, who controls it well his chest. Back to Goodwin. Goodwin's going to look for the run for McCaskill, but McCaskill holds it. I think thought he was offside. I don't think he was, and it is going to go back now to the goalkeeper. So 2 minutes gone here, 0-0 between Stocksbridge and Barnsley Football Club. Back here to Oglesby. So I believe, yes, there's been a change since we were given the team that McCaskill is on rather than Fabu. We'll expect to see Fabu in the second half then instead. As ball just on the left-hand side. McCaskill is the one fighting for it, and he thinks he just bounced out, but it's going to actually go for a corner. McCaskill taking that final touch. So back here for the Barnes goalkeeper. So, yep, final pre-season friendly. Stocksbridge, who have done so well during this pre-season, unbeaten. The only time that they've not won is that 1-1 draw with Emley, who are likely to be pushing promotion from the Northern Counties. Certainly a creditable result at a tough ground to go to, as a very poor decision from the Barnes goalkeeper just pins it out for an attacking throw for the Steels. Gwynne's going over to it quickly, but he hasn't really got the support quickly either. Baker's going to go and now take this throw in instead. You can see a few fans have made the journey here on what is, I think, our first pleasant night of pre-season, as Poole just can't control a little shove in the back. It meant he couldn't get control of it, and it's going out for a goal kick. It's nice we've been having these friendlies, even though it's been July, and obviously some of the most worst rain you've seen, just awful weather. It's really nice. We've actually just got one of those really pleasant summer evenings where I think the ideal thing to do, well, is to come to Brackenmore and sit with a pint in your hand and watch the match. Or sit in your balcony and just watch the world go away with a cold drink of some sort. So, the Barnsley goalkeeper is going to send it long. Headed it away into by Ogilvy. To Hogg, who's going to get it to the wing. Poole will collect it. Poole has some space in front of him. Poole is going to have got the option of Baker. He's going to find Baker. Great play. Baker into the box. Pins across the right hand side. Misses everyone. McCaskill scuffs it. Well saved by the right hand of the Barnsley goalkeeper. And the number 6 just clips it off McCaskill. And then number 2 clears out Prime. Great play. McCaskill, I don't think got the cleanest foot around it, but it's the right clawing hand of the Barnsley goalkeeper that stops it going in. Certainly better than the right clawing hand of the United States goalkeeper from that penalty shootout yesterday you might have seen in the Women's World Cup. Ball here on the left-hand side. Oliver Novak has it before side. He loses the ball. Going to be a throw into Barnsley. Going to be back to the right and clipped into the middle. Jallo will look to collect it, chest it down. Goodwin tackles back to Hogg, back to Goodwin, and sliding challenge to keep it. And he's like, to Poole here. Poole takes a touch and going to look to get it beyond his man, but it's deflected and it's over Novak's head. Swivelen, number 10 of Barnsley, who's going to get it now to the 11. And they're 2-on-2 Barnsley now, though Stocksbridge are getting back in numbers, and they have got back in numbers now. Ball's going to be clipped long, but to no one in particular, though. I think the free will get it on the left wing here. He does. Baker's closed down. Number 3 trying to evade the tackle into his own corner flag here. Goodwin going there. I thought Goodwin may have created the foul. He hasn't. Pass it back to Baker, but he's going to just knock it off the Barnsley man and get the goal kick. 5 minutes gone here. 0-0 between Stockport Steels and Barnsley Football Club. Nothing really happening yet in the first few moments of this game, though. Stocksbridge probably edging it slightly against this young Barnsley side. A Barnsley side that has produced plenty of talent over the last few years. Well, the last 10 years, obviously. John Stones is the biggest name, just coming from over the hill in Thurleston as well. Probably, imagine he had a few games here during the youth team days, and probably for the juniors at Penistone Church as well. As well goes long, headed back away, but Goodwin to knock it long again. And number 5 just miskicked that slightly, and 6 has to pass it back to him, and he clears it upfield. Oglesby will head it up into the air, lose track of it, but Hogg gets onto it. Hogg will pass it back to Langton. Langton evades a tackle, and he's going to evade a second one as well before sending it long, but no one there really. And it's going to be back for the goalkeeper to get a goalkeeper home. Didn't really know how to judge that ball going forward, but he does eventually. Back there is. We do have to note the Barnsley kits here. They went a bit viral during the summer, these shirts, for the styling. Taken after a retro shirt from the 1980s. Stars and stripes to reflect their American ownership as well. And they're interesting, is I think the democratic way of saying it, as it goes through to McCaskill trying to get the touch off the 6, but 6 wins out, and now McCaskill continues to bother him before it's cleared out for a throw-in. Just seeing some news from elsewhere that Cleethorpes Town have signed Brodie Robertson, and he'll return there, so that's a threat going into the new season. And if, I was just about to say, if you had a car that's parked over in the estate near Brackenmore, your alarm's going off, but they have turned it off. As it's here for McCaskill. McCaskill's looking for the shot. He's going to slide it to Poole. Poole controls the touch. Back to the right to Baker. Good play here. Baker with some space. He's on his own now, and he's got pressure on him. He's trying to get to the byline, Baker, and I think it's just come off his foot there. But Thatcher really ends the corner there. Must have hit him as he was crossing the line. First corner of the game for the Steels in the 7th minute. Good opportunity. Stockbridge typically strong from pre-seat on set pieces throughout last season. Helps when you've got big shots like Luke Rawson and Charlie Oglesby up there. Both will be wanting to improve their goal tally this season. Going to the far end, but it's going to be headed back into the box before being cleared by Barnsley. Sliced away. Baker touches it back to Tinker, who gets it back to Poole, holds it down really well. Poole volleys the cross in, and it's blocked away at the far post. Back to Oliver Novak. Novak takes a shot. It's blocked by the 6. It's another corner kick. Oliver Novak, who's on the senior terms now with the club, scored in pre-season last time when he was still with the under-18s. That was against Handsworth. Hasn't scored since signing his senior terms, but will look to do so to show Ian Richards why he should be in the first team going into Saturday. Because that's what this game is about showing Ian why that he should be in the first team come Saturday's big match against Stockton Town. Here comes the corner. Looking for the far post. It's punched by the goalkeeper away. It was just dipping under the bar. The number 10 hands out to the right wing, and Novak will allow that to go out for the throw-in now. Baker will head over there to take this throw-in. By the way, if you are in our live chat, please do get involved. We'll have some comments there. We will try and shout you out during the course of the commentary. As Baker throws it in, but he's just going to throw it right to the Barnsley man. Novak wins the ball, though. Gives it back to Baker, who gets tackled. It's out for another throw into the Steels. So back, another opportunity for him to get this ball in. Cronin going to Novak, comes off him here. Then back to Baker. Baker's cross going for the near post, headed away. Hogg's going to head it into the box, headed on there by Castle, but wide of the goal. It's going to be a goal kick here for Barnsley. So it's Stocksbridge definitely being the better side so far in this one. But at the moment, haven't really been able to create a clear-cut opportunity. Back here for the 9, Jallo. Back into defence midfielder, just spreads it out to the right wing. Well hauled down on the right wing, looking for the overlap here, and they're going to find it really well. So number 6, the central defender, has come out. It's a great-looking cross that it weren't too far from looping in itself. It's out for a goal kick, but a dangerous move from Barnsley, that where the cross almost became a shot. And it's from number 6, the central defender, who's come all the way out here and gone on a bit of an adventure and almost got paid off for it. But it remains goalless here after that one did just loop wide, thankfully, for the Steels. So Townsend will take it. Townsend hasn't really been called into action yet. I think this might be his first goal kick as well, as he takes a short pass here to Oglesby. And Oglesby's just passed it to Jallo. Clean on goal. Jallo taking out Townsend, and he sends it over. I'm not sure how that's been there. Oglesby, who doesn't typically try and pass it amongst the back, and I think that's why he typically doesn't pass it along the back. He does send it long. He gives it right to Jallo, who is one of the top stars in this Barnsley youth side. He passes Townsend. It looks like it's... I think if you went for your XG, it'd probably be like a 0.90 or above. And he sends it over. There was some pressure from Langton and Baker, but it really should be 1-0 Barnsley. And anyway, it's going to be a free kick for the Steels at the other end now. It's a good chance to get the ball in. I mean, Fabio Jallo, a really talented player, but God, if he wants a place in the Barnsley third team, that's not how you're going to get it. It was gift wrapped like at Christmas, that one. So if Barnsley cut the first team coming off a 7-0 win at Port Vale, I remember seeing the Port Vale fans looking so happy in Chapeltown before the game. They took over all the pubs there. I don't think they were so happy afterwards. Poole puts the free kick in, but it's going to be headed away, going to the right hand side. Hogg's going to just chase that down, but he's going to allow it to go for a throw next to the corner flag. Bailey Baker is going to head over to that throw to the corner flag, but you can hear Ross Goodwin shouting out the instructions from the penalty spot area. Now he's situated in, he'll be looking for a header, very strong in the air, Goodwin. Throw goes into Novak, back to Baker. Baker takes the touch, cross in, but it's blocked by the free, bounce out, and it's going to be another Stocksbridge throw. 12 minutes gone in this game. It's 0-0 so far. See, Mr. Ornwant. Any descriptions? It's hard to say. You don't get the clearest look at the faces from the stand here, I'm afraid. So it's hard to say. I am quite confident it's Jallo up front, though, for you. Because I recognise him from last season because he was a very impressive player in the game last year between the two sides. Barnsley just clear from this throw-in, and they got the counter. The number 11 here, the blonde here, just getting past Baker. He's looking for the cross in. It's a good-looking ball to the 10 who takes the strike straight at Townsend, who makes the save. And then Hogg passes it back into Barnsley there, causing our own problems. The 7 puts the cross in and then headed away by Oglesby. Another ball going in right-footed. Langton this time the header. It's a corner kick, and it's Stocksbridge causing their own problems in defence. Just seen Steve Turner going up the Steels from the lads listening at Ardagh Glass Barnsley. And Paul Gar going, we're Wasps, we are Stocksbridge Park Steels. Oh, and Roger's decided my commentary is good enough to listen to in front of me. Corner kick for Barnsley right now. Most of the Barnsley players in a rough line near the penalty spot. With the number 11 hanging, well, trying to hang on Townsend. He's got Bailey Baker trying to keep him honest. Lofted ball, looks like Pelshot area. It's a move and it goes into the 6-yard box. Great save from Townsend from just a few yards out. Right footed cross going in. Number 5 tried to hover into it on the left back, but he's been blocked off it by Langton. Number 3 puts across it. It's blocked by Novak. Loops. Townsend looks to go for it. He is fouled, and it's going to be a free kick steals. And Stocksbridge need to wake up because they've conceded some big chances and are lucky not to be behind in this game so far. Back now here for Townsend to take this goal kick, who made some good saves already in this game. Seals can count themselves lucky not to be behind so far. Ball goes long, but goes all the way to Rawson. Tries to control it, and he earns a foul. Rawson doesn't normally get one when he's just pushed and pulled around, so he'll be hoping that'll continue into the season. It's going to go back for Langton to take this. Langton is going to look to get it cross field, looking here for Tinker, and instead, I think Tinker's given away the foul, so it'll be a free kick there, immediately given back to Barnsley. As Barnsley will look to get back on the attack, who, after a good start from Stockbridge, looking at the best side, Barnsley have had the big chances over the last couple of minutes. Ben Townsend being on form and some of the Barnsley strikers not being on form. Back here now for the Barnsley goalkeeper to take. Ball going long here, headed away by Langton. And into midfield, it's still with Barnsley, 2 trying to pass it back, but Novak managed to get a touch, knocks it off the 6, and then it goes here out to play for a throw-in. So we're just having a look. We will try and work out some of the team here because I have got the pictures now up for the Barnsley team. So we will work out and try and go up. You can tell it's Paul Cooper in goal for Barnsley. And it goes back into central defence for them, get into midfield. And Ross tried to intercept that pass back into defence, but didn't work. It's going to go across now to the number 7, who is rolling out really well, trying to get it to the number 3, but tries to knock it long, and it's going to go back for Langton, who will clear this one away, back into defence, headed away. And Hoggle head it right back, but then it's head tennis as it goes sideways here, and then Caskell gets shoved over. It's going to be a free kick. Obviously, there isn't actually too many people on the under-21s. I got to presume one of the players in the defence here, though, is Jack Shepherd, who signed from Pontefract Collieries for Barnsley this summer. One of the 2 players to go to South Yorkshire EFL sides from the Northern Premier League East. Sam Reed being the other one over at Sheffield Wednesday. We saw him the other week. Stocksbridge won 3-0 there. Tinker throws it here to Poole, trying to McCaskill, who tried to avoid tackle, puts crossing cleared away, and Barnsley are unchallenged as they collect that and will look to launch a counter, but it just gets stuck in the midfield for a second, and then onto the right hand side, and McCaskill gets tackle. It's out for a Barnsley throw. 17 minutes gone, 0-0 so far. On the right hand side, throwing going down the line, but only back here for Tinker to head it down back to the defence. It's going to get Barnsley winning midfield, then Goodwin tackles back to Hogg, who spreads out to Poole on the right hand side, who's going to get a little bit of shove, and that allows the defender to get the tackle in, and they're going to get that away with the 10 now. Good little pass here to the 8. 8 controls it onto the right hand side for the 2, who pushes forward in this 3-5-2 that Barnsley are playing today. And then Oglesby intercepts, tries to pass it back to Townsend. That almost got himself into trouble, and Oglesby passing here is not been great. It's almost like Barnsley. Oh, it let Barnsley in once. They didn't take that opportunity. Almost let him in a second time, if not for the awareness of Ben Townsend. Like a right back, throwing in for Jallo, but headed away, and then takes a touch looking to get it through, and it's going to be bounced a bit. The number 7 almost get it favourably, but Goodwin has cleared that back into midfield out to all their number 10, and there's a poor pass, and Poole's getting. There could be a chance for counter. He's one touch pass looking for Rawson. I think it's just a bit ahead of him. The number 5 does get to it, pass it back, slice ball from Cooper, and it's going to go out for a throw in about 9 yards away from the corner flag. And Cooper's kicking has not convinced yet. And Tinker's going to head over to take the throw. Tinker, a former Barnsley Shadow Academy player. That's the community side of Barnsley Football Club. They actually won the that community league that they're in, which are some big teams like Everton were one of the teams in that. Other players in that team were the likes of Bailey Ty Baker and Alex O'Connor. Bailey Ty Baker playing Alex O'Connor, who's not here today. Throwing goes into Rawson, who is holding off his man well, but the throw is eventually tackled and the ball is cleared. And it's going to just fall favourably for this Barnsley man coming forward. Ty Baker is going to press him to go backwards, goes back into defence and then into midfield. So poor passo goes to Hogg, who intercepts, and that's a poor pass back. It gives it right back to him. And now it's going to go on the right-hand side here for Barnsley. They begin their attack. Try to beat the man, but Hogg intercepts. Hogg rolls out and he gets it to Tinker, though. Tinker, I don't think, was expecting it. Tinker does get it away, though, too. Novak, who turns well, pauses a second for knocking it over to McCaskill. McCaskill tries to beat the man, but he is stopped and tackled, and it's going to be cleared down the line. Looking here for Langton, who's going to knock it forward, and it's back here. Tinker, who's going to send it long, looking for the runner pool, but the four gets it first, passes it back to Cooper. I'd press him, actually, with Cooper's kicking so far. He's going to be given the time, though. Rolls it out and then sends it long. And then Langton's going to just head it behind him. Baker will cover it. I believe that must be Aidan Marsh there being shouted. He must be the number 7 here, just from... But for Barnsley, that is. And now McCaskill has it for Stocksbridge. Stocksbridge build back from defence, but McCaskill's pass blocked out for a throw-in. Throwing down the line here to Rawson. Controls it. Trying to beat his man, but he's tackled by number 2, and 2 gets it away. Good game from this number 2 so far. Sliding challenge from Hogg. Gets it away eventually, but still back with Stocksbridge. Pull, knocking forward to Goodwin. Goodwin times a shot, but he does not get anything behind it, and he's just hit someone's shed over on in the houses over there. So we just want to say apologies to the man's shed we hit. Just apologies to the man we hit the shed off. I mean, sometimes they say you can't hit the back door of a barn, but he hit the back door of the shed at that occasion. And it's back now with Cooper to take this goal kick. 21 minutes gone. It's 0-0 here. Barnsley with the better chances so far. Struggling to hear this end. I will, Steve Turner, thank you for letting me know. I will turn up my microphone a bit here. So we'll just turn it up a bit. I think this is the maximum I can really go without it breaking the microphone, actually. So I've got to be a bit careful for sensitivity. It's back in Barnsley's defence now. Who will pass it across to their other centre-back here. They get it to Marsh, the number 7, as we've just identified. He's going to knock it on to Jallow. Goodwin trying to press it, but Jallow falls backwards, and then Goodwin commits the foul on Jallow. Back onto the left-hand side now, and you can flip forward back to Jallow. Has a bit of time. He's going to knock it over the top, looking for the number 3. It's a good ball. Who's controlling it? Baker's just forced it back to Marsh now. Marsh just crosses to the far post, and Tinker instead has ping back into the centre circle, controlled, but then a tackle goes in from Novak. It's a key tackle. It's going to be a corner kick to Barnsley. It's their first corner of the game, I believe, actually. No, it's not. They got one of the last time. I'm not doing very well myself here. It's a Monday. So, corner kick for Barnsley. You'd hope Stocksbridge's bigger lads will be able to defend from this, and the delivery is not particularly great. Hogg's got it and going to clear it away. Throw in here, just smash into the local advertising awning. And actually now the throwing goes the other way. They changed their mind on it. I believe it might have been for a foul throw-in. So, out here for Tinker to clear it down here for McCaskill to knock down, looking for Rawson, but it's back in the Barnsley defence. Barnsley must be now getting quite a bit of possession of this game. It's now on the way back with Cooper now, who's going to send it long, and Tinker will look to head it away. He does. It goes, but Barnsley will collect it in the midfield. Gets it through to Marsh now. Marsh is carrying it forward. Spreads out to the number 3 here, who's come forward really well. Controls. Baker's closing him down. He's limiting his options, and Baker's side challenge knocks it out. And that is going to be a throw in right next to the corner flag for the Tykes. Steele's taking the time to give that ball back. And Barnsley taking just as much time to get back to the throw-in. It's pre-season with a pre-season pace at the moment. Throwing into the box, looking for Jallo. Some shirt pulling from both sides there, but bounces back out for Barnsley. The free looks to get back to 4, and he does. Right footed ball into the box. Jallo controls it just outside and gets it back here to the 10. Gives it out to the right-hand side here. Controls, looking to run at his man. Beats his man. Good run, but then well in from Hargu. Is giving it out for a corner kick now. Barnsley in the ascendancy at the moment. 24 minutes gone. 0-0. So right corner from the right-hand side here. Here comes it, right-footed, looking to get it in there. He's number 6 right side, and it's in the back of the net. Barnsley take the lead. It's a deserved goal for them, who have been the better side throughout this first half. And the Tykes are leading from a corner kick. It's probably the most disappointing way Stocksbridge could concede against a youth side in particular. But the number 6 just rose higher than everyone else. It was a really good delivery. And it's now 1-0 to Barnsley. And Stocksbridge's unbeaten pre-season run is under threat in this final game. I do wonder if that might have been Jack Shepherd, the former Pontefract defender who signed from this summer. As Ross Goodwin prepares to take this goal kick, so this kickoff. 26 minutes gone in this one, and it's 1-0 to Barnsley here. Thread to Langton, who then will send it long, headed away, and Jallo will look to get on the left-hand side, but it's going to go out for a Stocksbridge throw-in. Stocksbridge, who have not really been in this one since the early parts of the match. He throws it into Novak, touch back to Hogg, who's going to knock it over to Poole. Wants to looking for Novak, but misses him, and it's going back in the midfield, and they try and knock through, but Oglesley takes it. Oglesley's going to take the short pass here to Tinker. Tinker is going to now send it long, but back into defence. It's a poor pass, and Stocksbridge really struggling to make anything in this game so far. Throw in here to Barnsley on the right-hand side, in front of our Andrew Crawford outside holding. So this is just the time of the game where I like to thank our sponsors for all the money they help put into the club. Our sponsors are the reason this club exists. It's the reason we can continue to play the season. And as Barnsley just put a ball, it's deflected, and Townsend just only claws away at it. So we do have an attacker going. So we'll pause, goes to Marsh, who hits it. Well blocked by Langton. Looked like it was heading for the bottom corner there. Jallo collects it here on the left-hand side. Novak looks to get a side challenge, but it goes with the number 3. He's going to continue with it now. Continues on the run. Goodwin goes in, and it's going to bounce out and actually be a goal kick. Comes off the freeze foot last. So so I just want to thank our sponsors. As I said, without them, club wouldn't exist. We wouldn't be able to be competitive in this league without it. So we just want to thank our sponsors. So that's Airflow, UC Build, Presto, Steel FC, DB Sports, Futurefies, Genfab, and Bradford Brewery. And we just want to encourage, if you have a business that you would like to get involved with the club and sponsor us, please do get in touch. You can email our Vice Chairman, Roger Gissing, at rpg.sps@mail.com. You can also go on our website at stocksbridgeps.co.uk. There's a player sponsorship page where you can choose to sponsor a player, and you can also even pay an advertising or sponsorship, where if you have some bigger sponsorship ideas in mind, like sponsorship of the stadium, you could have the stadium named after your business. You can then get in touch and we will see what we can do for you. Remember that you think about all the people that come to this stadium from across the north of England, and the fact that we have games of all sorts that happen here, that will see your advertising audience, that will see your adverts. It's a really good deal. And we know quite a few Stockbridge fans will always try and support the sponsors of the club as well, above other businesses that may not sponsor us. Hello, it's BTB, you're you Reds, and Mr. Wish saying, who scored for Barnsley? We haven't got a Barnsley team sheet. We've only been able to gather some of them by using pictures on the website and just knowledge of the Barnsley team from beforehand. It was the number 6 defender who scored. He was a big lad, is my best description. So unfortunately, that's the best we can give you. I'd keep an eye out on the Academy BFC Twitter page, who likely will update it after the match. Or we will try and see if we can find out at some point to put in our match reports or in comment chat, depending on when we find out. Stocksbridge have the ball on the right hand side now. Going into Novak, who gives it back to Baker, but it's actually just going to be followed out by the Barnsley man, and it's going to go out for a throw-in. 29 minutes gone, and it's 1-0 to Barnsley. I mean, not long, but Hogg blocks it, clipped long, and then headed back away. Jallo controls it, but Langton gets a good touching, gives it to Goodwin. He's off for Tinkeroo, tries to knock it long, but it goes to the goal scorer. Touch isn't great. McCaskill will try and press him here, but it gets through anyway. And then Stockbridge get it back, try to get to McCaskill, looking to get the beat in the 6. He's fighting him now. He gets on the left-hand side, trying to beat him, and then McCaskill earns a foul off the goal scorer here. One of my guesses, by the way, for the goal scorer, it might be that Jack Shepherd who used to play for Pontefract Collieries. But that is a guess. Please don't go onto a Barnsley Facebook forum and say Jack Shepherd scored. March number 11. Oh, thank you, Mark Whittaker, for that. I was thinking of number 7 from him shouting Aiden at him. So, Thomas Poole free kick, dangerous opportunity for the Steels. Plenty of big men in the box. Here comes the free kick, takes a deflection and then goes out. It's going to be a corner kick now from that left-hand side as well. Poole will look forward to whipping this one in. It's pretty much going to stay the same sort of shape in the box as well, with almost everyone in it. The only people back, there's Bailey Baker back, as well as obviously Ben Townsend. Jack Tinker's come far up, and so is Ollie Novak. They're both hovering around the edge of the box. Everyone else inside it, inside the 6-yard box, other than Luke Hogg, who's on the penalty spot. Here comes corner, looking for that far post. Delivery is not great, and Ross Goodwin tried to catch it, it seemed, at the far end, but it's out for a goal kick now. Poor delivery from Thomas Poole there. Back now here for Barnsley, will get it through to their number 3, who tried to get through, but Novak blocked the pass. Back to Baker, who's going to knock it long, looking for Rawson down the right wing, and Rawson's going to try and do all he can to keep it in, and he has just about. Great work from Rawson. He plays it back off it to the number 7, who slips in. Cooper only gets somewhat of a hand to it. No one's there to advance onto it, though, and Barnsley are able to clear. Goodwin there causing some problems as it goes into midfield. Barnsley have it back to the 3, and then he's going to clip long here, and it goes here to Aidan Marsh, who turns inside Langton. Got the number 7 as an option, knocks it to the 7 on the left-hand side. I pack to the 3 here. Stockbridge are back in numbers as the 3 is forced out to the left-hand side where it seems most comfortable. Back now to the 8 here, who is continuing. Barnsley will pass it wrong in the midfield as they look to get a break in. They might have done the 3, puts a good low cross in, but Langton clears it. Rawson's going to head it on beyond the 5, but no one's there. It's going to go back for Cooper to send long. Cooper clear away and then head back here from Tinker. Cooper, I'm trying to think, I'm pretty sure we saw him for Ossett United last year. So he was on loan with, yes, he is Paul Cooper now. Actually, I'm wondering where I was recognising him from. Cooper spent time on loan with Ossett United last year and played in the 3-1 victory for Ossett at this ground back in February. A miserable game that was, as Oglesby just sliced a ball here, but it's going out to play for Townsend, can keep it in, and Oglesby, who was in the team of the year last night for the Steels, he's having a bit of a shocker in this one. So it's going to be a corner kick for Barnsley on the right-hand side. 33 minutes gone in this game, and it is 1-0 to the Young Tykes. And it's, as typical, they leave one player, the number 11, inside the 6-yard box. Everyone else in a bit of a triangle around the penalty spot with the number 3 just hanging around outside the area. Ball goes in, looking for the far post. The 6 looks to head it on goal. It gets the header, but it's going to go out for a goal kick. Now Townsend will come collect it and take this as the Steels will look try and see if they can get an equaliser before the end of this half. 12 minutes to go before the end of the first period of this game. Townsend, the other person who got an honour last year, was on the bench of the Team of the Year for the Northern Premier League East. Team of the Year that was voted for by the managers. Well, there's long. Rawson heads it on, and McCaskill's looking to try and beat his man. He's going to fight with him, but the number 6 just out muscles him and allows Cooper to collect it. Rolls it out for the 2 here. He allows it to go out in front of him. Novak will press, and number 2 is going to tear down this right-hand side now. As Novak guessed wrong on his press, but then the clip over the top doesn't really work out. Back to Townsend, who is going to control it and then clear it upfield. He's going to go out for a throw-in, though, on the halfway line. Throw goes into the middle to Marsh, who clips it back to 8. Now to the 7 in front, who's looking to turn, make the run, but he's going to roll it to the 3 on the left-hand side. Then back here to the 4. And he's going to continue to be forced backwards, and then all the way back to Cooper, who clips it long here. He gets it to Jallow and back into centre of the field, and then back onto the right wing back. Going to press it down here, and it's a good overlap here from Barnes. The opportunity created, ball going across, and then Langton able to clear it. Langton, who's been really good at centre half today, goes out for actually Stocksbridge throw-in eventually. So got Stocksbridge goal kick is actually what's been given. Missed that because I was looking down at my team sheet. Back to Townsend to take this now. So Townsend here, who will be replaced in the second half by Henry Hampshire. And here comes Townsend's ball long. Poole can't track that in the sun, I think, was what I was saying there, as it goes all the way back now to Cooper, who takes it back into his box. He takes a couple of touches, going to control it, and then before collecting it in his arms. Taking his time over it now, Cooper, before, well, eventually does send it long. Going to get caught up in midfield here, actually. Barnsley do head it on. Hogg wins in midfield. Looks for Poole with that ball, but it's too far for anyone really to get to. Going to be back to Barnsley ball with throwing. So it's 36 minutes gone in this game, and it's 1-0 to Barnsley after the header from the number 6 from the corner. Back into central defence for them. Some of the Barnsley fans here are pretty confident that they know some of the players, so we'll try and see if we can do a bit of asking round. As it goes on the halfway line, the number 3 will put it back into central defence. And then back to the 8, who's going to look to get it onto the right-hand side. It's a good-looking ball, and Tinker's missed it there. And it's going to be an attack opportunity as the ball goes in, but well blocked by Oglesby, that cross. And then Tinker will slice the clearance up, and it's going to go out for a throw-in here. It's on Twitter, team. So it's on the right-hand side here now. For Barnes, who's going to throw it down and back to Shallow, and then knocked out. Obviously, we may have seen that if you're looking at our team sheet and wondering why there's change. McCaskill decided, well, they made a change after we found out about the team from McCaskill starting rather than a Fabu. As it goes into the middle here, and then Rawson just misses out, and at the 8 goes back to defence. Barnsley controlling possession at the moment, being a very accomplished performance from their youngsters as they give it back into their central defence, and then it's sent long looking for Jallow. Oglesby will head it away. The offside flag was put up on Jallow anyway. Back now here for Townsend, who will take this free kick thanks to the offside flag, which is taken around where the Wortley Arms advertising order is. So Townsend looking for his options here. Looking to send it to the right-hand side of the pitch. He's looking for Rawson, who heads it on. Bailey Baker's going to look to see if he can put the first time cross in. He does. It's not going all the way around, but it was cleared away, and then it's gone out for a corner kick, despite Barnsley thinking they'd just about kept it in. So it's an opportunity here for the Steels to try and get a goal and get an equaliser. As Paul will head over to take this one, is the outswingers tend to be what he favours. Got a few players going up, like Langton going up and Oglesby, who will be threats in the box. Just see what's going in there. But good ball for the far post. It's beyond everyone. Barnes get the first touch and a big clearance away. And Townsend's going to leave that one to go out for a throw-in here. As it goes again in front of that Andrew Crawthorpe advertising ordering. Oh, Johnston. He might be one. They signed senior players for reserves now. Ball going long here, but it can be headed away by number 6, Outfoot. And Steels will get the throw in inside the half. Back with Tinker now for the throw in. Big throwing down line here to pull it again here to McCaskill trying to lay off on Novak, but it's good interception. Stockbridge just not able to connect things in attack at the moment. And there could be a counter attack here. Jallo's going to collect it on the left hand side. He's forced backwards, back here to the defender, and he's going to beat Goodwin as Goodwin tried to press. And the number 4 continue through. One ball at the top for the number 3, and the 3's got acres of space on the left wing now. Takes a touch. He's going to pick out his cross, looking for the far end, and it's headed away by Tinker, and then cleared by Novak out to play for a throw-in. Right hand side, 40 minutes gone in this game so far. It's 1-0 to Barnsley. Goal coming from the number 6. Remember that our first game of the season is this Saturday away at Stockton Town. But if you want to see us here at Brackenmore, just a week tomorrow, we are back in our first competitive action here at home to the relegated Liversedge. It's going to be a big, tough match against a big physical side. It's going to be a great one, I'm sure. So get down here to Brackenmore Tuesday night under the lights. It's going to be absolutely fantastic. Make sure to be here. And of course, if you can't make it for whatever reason, we are going to be here on commentary. Ball going long here, headed backwards by the number 4. McCaskill going to try and cause problem, but it's headed away into midfield. The 10 gathers it, being forced backwards, and he's going to get it all the way back to Cooper here. We'll see how his kicking is this time. It's not a great control, and I'm surprised Stockbridge aren't pressing him more because he doesn't look the strongest with the ball at his feet. And Cooper is going to send it long now, and headed on by Jala and back, and Tinker will then knock it long, looking for McCaskill, and McCaskill's offside, who appeals from the Barnsley defence. Pay off here. So, back here for a free kick for Barnsley, who have, apart from the first maybe 15 minutes where Stocksbridge were the better side, have definitely took control and deserved their lead. They're going to look it to get it cross field there, looking for the number 3. He holds it down really well, gets past Baker. 1-2 pressure, look for free, but a deflection from Goodwin stops that, and then Langton able to clear it away. But it's back with Barnsley in the midfield with their 10, and back onto the right hand side here. Some good play from Barnsley, but that pass was poor and intercepted, and then cleared out for a throw-in. Now to the Tykes. 42 minutes gone, closing in on half time here. As that was poor from Barnsley. They threw it out and they're going to be trying to go quick here. You get it to Rawson. Rawson might have the beating of his man on the left hand side. Just need to turn him. Good touch. Rawson was looking for the shot. Isn't going for it. Puts inside. Rawson looking to, can't get his shot off. He hasn't got the space to do so, and he's trying to get back. No one's helped him in that. As limited, you do wonder if maybe Rawson should have gone for it earlier there. But now it's going to be the number 11, Marsh, bearing forward, looking to get the counter attack, trying to get past Baker, but he takes a shot. And maybe that's the answer why Rawson didn't take it, because he can only hit it well wide, and Townsend was never threatened by it. Rawson just delaying his shot there, which in the end cost the opportunity, or the pass as well. Just seeing my mum's in the chat going, come on lads, I'm a bit late joining, but come on, play it together. Well, it's because you've been late, ain't it? So here comes long ball from Townsend. Look for Rawson, who deflects it to feet. Back to Goodwin, but it's intercepted by Marsh, and it's out of play here for a Stockbridge throw-in. Linesman only seemed to decide when Stockbridge decided it was their throw-in, though. And the throw immediately gets kicked out for another throw-in down the line. Baker will come up and take that one. Linesman didn't know what to do then. He just only decided because Ross Goodwin got the ball and just decided, I'm going to throw it. Throwing down line to McCaskill, who controls it. He's going to give it back to Baker, and if he has been intercepted in, Barnsley clear. It comes off their man, and it's going to be a corner kick, and this would be a daft way to concede a goal if they conceded from this corner. Thomas Poole heading over it as we just a minute away from half time. Poole here heading over, set piece specialist. Though we've been doing better from the free kicks this summer rather than the corners. Have to go all the way back to the Rossington match for goal from the corner. Floated to the far end here. Goodwin trying to get a head onto it. Still in there. Langton gets a header. It's hovering and Cooper gets a hand to it. It's out for another kick. Langton's header was just about to loop into that corner then. And then two Barnsley players are going out to make sure the short option is not taken. Goodwin there will now head into the box after potentially being that short option. Hull will look for another corner. That one caused some problems. Here comes the corner, this time into 6 yards. Langton gets a header, and it hits the bar, and then it's headed in by Luke Hogg. Steals equalise the initial header from Mitch Langton, which was knocked on by Goodwin in goal-stealing fashion like he did to Rawson, but this time he didn't get it. But Luke Hogg scores his first goal in a Steels shirt by heading in the rebound. It is 1-1. The Steels equalise here. As Ian Richards just shouted at Ross Goodwin, good defending, because potentially he blocked Mitch Langton's header from going in. But it is now 1-1 here. Both goals coming from corner kicks. As 8 knocks the ball long for Barnsley, but that's going to go back comfortably to Townsend now. And Townsend will take his time. I expect the half-time is to go at any moment. He's looking at his watch, the referee, as he's walking long here, but it can be headed away, and then Novak wins the interception, but it bounced back to Jala, then to the number 8. Goodwin will press. Goodwin trying to force it backwards, and that will be half-time. So it's Stocksbridge Park Steels 1, Barnsley Football Club 1. Barnsley did take the lead. It was a deserved lead after they missed some pretty big chances. Corner kick went in before their number 6 rose higher than everyone else to head in, but another corner kick at the other end saw Mitch Langton's header seemingly blocked by Ross Goodwin, but before it went onto the bar, but Luke Hogg was there to head in the rebound, and it is now 1-1. All to play for in the second half in the Steels' last pre-season friendly of the summer. We'll see you in 15 minutes. Hello and welcome back to the second half here of this pre-season friendly between Stocksbridge Park Steels and Barnsley Football Club. I'm your commentator Adam Allcroft. We are sponsored by Jason Rawson, carpet fitter and supplier. And it's 1-1 here as we prepare for the kickoff. Barnsley took the lead through their number 6 heading in. We haven't been able to find out the goal scorer, I'm afraid. And then Stocksbridge were able to equalise at their end through Luke Hogg, his first goal in a steel shirt. Thomas Poole's just standing over the ball. I can see there's been one substitute for Stocksbridge at least. Two substitutes. Curtis Turner's come on for Oliver Novak, and Jordan Lemon's come on for Bailey Ty Baker. And Andy Ringer can see he's returned to the dugout. So I'm going to get a moan out, like you can hear me, and I'm not in the dugout, not in the booth behind me. And Stocksbridge, though, have kicked the game off here. So Stocksbridge Park Steels in the yellow shirt, blue shorts and blue socks, kicking from right to left, while Barnsley are in the red shirt that fades to white with stars, red shorts and red socks. And Barnsley are in there, number 8, but well, tackled by Tinker, a bit of physicality, and then Tinker clears it. Comes off, I thought it came off a Barnsley man, but it hasn't because it's going to be a throw in here to Barnsley in a good position. So back here on the left-hand side, going up, looking for Rawson, but headed away behind the number 4. Into Turner heads it on, and Goodwin knocks it on further, but Goodwin's earned a free kick there, the advantage not being given. So it's back here into defence. Oglesby's going to take this one. I say Oglesby's going to left it for Townsend, who's with the sun is so bright out there for once that Townsend's had to get out the traditional goalkeeper's cap. You know it's a summer game when the keeper's cap is out. Sends it long. Look for Orson, who's gone onto the right wing here, and it's just bounced off the back of number 7 him to number 4, who will clear it into midfield, and Hogg will get the touch. He actually goes under his feet here. Jallo will try and get him, but Hogg's recovered really well, and he's earned a free kick from a push in the back from Jallo. Referee is blowing a few times in this second half already. Ball crossfield looking here for Lewis McCaskill, pushing on back to number 2. He's still kept it. McCaskill fighting, looking to play the ball in the middle, but no one's there. I think sometimes McCaskill needs to go down, because I think if he'd gone down, he might have earned the free kick. Hogg, great sliding tackle to stop the counter attack, but then his pass through is immediately cleared out. And the number 12 who's come on for Barnsley, I've noticed, catch challenge, but Ogletree just booted that one into the car park. So it's a throw in on the right hand side for the number 2 to come over to take. Number 2, who does look a bit like Charlie Winfield, or actually Daniel Ben, Charlie Winfield, and looks very similar when I look at the Barnsley page. Throw goes in, but it's going to be headed away immediately from Turner, out for another throw in. Number 2 throw-in goes in, and it's going to be knocked off onto the right wing for the 12 substitute. False bounce 2 looking for the pass through, and it's going to be some decent passing, but Tinker intercepts, and Tinker then will get to before the byline before clearing it out. And then going to clear to 15, another substitute that's come on, but loses the physical battle to Goodwin. Goodwin, though, tried a cutting pass, but it is to no one, and it's going to go back for a defender. Ball goes long, headed away to McCaskill, who knocks along to Rawson, who's going to chase it down the left wing. Rawson has it on the left hand side. He looks past it back here to McCaskill, takes a good touch. Going to go run at his man, goes down to the left hand side, looks to put the cross in it, so cross towards the far end. Poole misses his header there. It's just a bit too high for him, and it's going to be covered by the number 7 here on the left hand side, who keeps it in just about. And he's going to just pass it into midfield. He turns, and Turner goes in with a tackle, the former Barnsley Academy man himself, and before it goes back into central defence. And then all the way back to Cooper, who gets it away before Rawson can press. Ball's going to bounce favourably for Tinker to take away, but only back to the 10, who gets it through to Jallo, and there might be an opportunity here for Barnsley. Jallo turns, he has space to run into, he's going to run at the defence here. Gets it caught under his own feet before being tripped by Oglesby. It's going to be a free kick about 30 yards in the dead centre, it seems. They're going to take it quick to number 10, who takes a shot. It's a drill shot, well saved from Townsend, and then Hogg is going to get fouled as he protects the ball. 49 minutes gone in this game, and it's 1-1 between the Steels and Barnsley. So it's back here with Townsend, who's going to send it long. Maybe head away around number 4 before goes here back for Hogg, who's going to head into field, but intercepted, and now with the 12 on this right wing, gets the beating of Tinker, but well in from Turner. And then, but he's rubbing up by 10, and then Langton gets in, and just no one keeping the ball for it goes out of play for a Barnsley throw. And then the ball gets caught between the bench and the fence, right in the middle there. And one of the Barnsley coaches, who's for some reason in the stand, is going to come and collect that out. At least I presume he's a Barnsley coach because he's got a monogrammed coat on. Number 2 going to throw it down, headed in by Jallo to the number 10, about 20 yards out. Sideways pass here to the 14, lays it off ball the 7 here on the left wing. Good play here, creates some space for himself. Cross goes in, headed away by Hogg, goes to the 14 here, who is immediately pressed, can't find the space. Back to the 7, looking for a ball. He has to give the short pass to the 14 again, then back into midfield. Stocksbridge keeping their shape, that they're very proud of how strong it is. And then Lewis Pascal gets a good tackle and blocks him. Goes back into Barnsley defence. And then it's a Paul back to Tinker, who's going to send it long here for Rawson to chase. And I don't think Rawson's going to just about keep it in. It doesn't have the pace on him to keep him in. It's out for a throw into Barnsley, but it's all the way in their half, quite close to their own box. Back now for the number 2 here. Throwing down the line here, and it's going to be back to Oxley, who puts it into the centre. Challenge by Turner, then Tinker, who takes a good touch, and then into the middle to Turner, then back to Hogg, and Hogg, really good turn then, and Hogg's going to send it long, looking for McCaskill's going to put some pressure on the number 2. He wins out with the number 2, tries to get the keeper, it's past keeper, just needs Poole to get a knock on, but it's well defended here from Barnsley. The number 4 with a saving header, for Poole can just get. All Poole needed was a slightest touch onto it, but it's a saving header from the number 4 that keeps Barnsley level in this one. Remains 1-1 here on the 51st minute. Back for the number 8 now, and into the midfield where the 14 is going to run at his man here before putting it onto the left-hand side, and then back to the 8. And into midfield, and then back to the 15 is going to be well controlled. It's number 5 now. Out, and then it's Paul, as he get it to the round, it's poorly controlled and out for a throw-in. From the down line, look for Rawson, well headed away, but well collected by McCaskill, gets it over to Rawson, who flicks it on, look for McCaskill, has to go chase it down the left-hand side, does a good job keeping it in, but as he tries to keep it in, the ball actually came off McCaskill as he bounded back off the defender, but it will be a throw-in. So it's with Tinker, who's looking for an option. I don't think he's got really a clear one on there. He might have to just gamble on it. I think Tinker's looking at thinking, what are you expecting me to do? Blowing, looking for Rawson, and it's a good throw to Rawson, who's going to get it in the box, and then he knocks it off his number 5 and earns a corner kick. It's a good play from Tinker, spotting Rawson with a bit of space, and then Rawson doing well to earn the corner kick out of it. Stocksbridge having scored from their last corner in that first half, with Luke Hogg eventually being the one to turn it in. So Poole will. Well, it's a bit of a slice one in, but it's going to come off a Barnsley man last me, another corner kick. It really doesn't get much air on to that one, but caused a bit of a problem. Number 8 has to just knock it behind. Langton was there to try and see if he could turn it in at the near post. Poole will have another shot at this corner. Here it comes, corner kick, another slice one towards the near post, and it's the exact same thing again. Third corner in a row. Will he try the same thing again, or will it be something a bit different? Langton's gone towards the far post, so I doubt it. Oh no, it's another near post one. It deflects a bit, and then road causes a problem, but it is eventually cleared. Back here for Lemon, who's going to hook it back in, but no one really was watching that. It's gone back to Cooper now. Not long, and it's been sliced by Oglesby as it gets through. Back to Tinker, who clears it upfield. Rawson's going to look to head it on. He does, and it's pulled. It's McCaskill trying to get a beat from McCaskill takes a shot, and it's just wide there. Bit of tricky feed from McCaskill after managing to win the ball off him before he just gets it just wide, not very far off indeed. 54 minutes gone in this one. It's 1-1 to the Steel. Stocksbridge having a better start in this second half so far. Ball goes across here into midfield and then not long, but I think that's going to be too far ahead of everyone. Townsend's going to happily collect that one. Balls it out now to Oglesby. Oglesby is going to send it long, looking for McCaskill and backwards and then back all the way into defence. And then not long, but deflected a bit. Barnsley still managed to get it in midfield. They recover well. And now it's through to Jallow in centre forward. And he's going to spread it onto the left wing, but it's just a poor touch that forces the ball behind him. The number 7 does collect it. Back to the number 4. Oh, and then back to the 8 here. And it's going to knock it long here, but headed away by Langton. And now with Turner, then to Hogg. Hogg's going to look for the run here. The left winger of McCaskill is going to look to cause problem with the number 2. Clears away. McCaskill growing into this game the longer it goes on. And now Tinker will throw this one down. So Tinker will take a few steps forward. I think he's taking probably a few more than he ought to, but that is the game at this level. Throws it on to McCaskill, who takes touch back to Tinker, who gets it blasted off the number 15, but goes back to Langton, who's going to clip it long. Rawson will look to controls it really well. Rawson, fantastic touch he's shown all pre-season. Eventually his tackle goes out play for a steal throw in. And then goes back to Tinker now. Tinker will look to see what's next as he throws it in, looking for McCaskill and being pressured here, and then it comes off the defender. And, Tinker tries to fight for it again, but it is cleared away successfully to Jallow. Controls well, but well in from Oglesby. Applauded by his manager for that tackle as he passes it to Hogg, who passes it all the way back to Townsend, which allows Barnsley just to push up the pitch. McCaskill very offside. He's going to have to leave that one, but Tinker will look to keep it in, and he just about does. And then he puts the cross along to Rawson, who looks to try to turn. He can't. Trying to get it back to Turner, but he can't. But then he goes to McCaskill, the clearance. McCaskill goes for the space, and he just can't get the shot on target. It's high and wide. It's in a brilliant position. Just needs to wrap his foot round it. McCaskill looks very, very disappointed with himself for that one, because it was in a really good position, and even though it's a friendly, it's just a bit frustrated. 57 minutes in this one, and it is 1-1 between the Steels and Barnsley. Well, goes into centre defence. Then to the number 2, who's going to send it long for Barnsley. Oglesby will head it away and into midfield, and it's collects midfield for Tinker, who gets the foot and clears away, but only back to the 5 to clear it, and it's a bit of head tennis as Hogg heads it back in to the number 8, who collects it onto feet, gets it to 15 now. Here to 12, who manages to overhead kick it away before Hoggy goes in and boots it away. Poole's going to challenge for the header, but it's headed away from him, but only back here to Langton, who clears out. It's going to be a throw-in on this left-hand side. Throwing back to the number 7 here. Not long here to the 9, and then back again, all the way to the 8. Then to the 15. Good. Barnsley just looking to control possession for a while after being put on the back foot during the first part of this second half. Across now. Now Goodwin will press and then back all the way to the number 2. Who takes the touch and he gets it beyond McCaskill, and it's onto the right wing for the 10. And then back here for the 15 and back to the 10 as Barnsley probe for the thing, but it's a poor pass and Turner intercepts. Goes back to McCaskill, then Hogg is trying to keep it in. He loses possession there, and the number 2's done really well to keep that in play. But then Tinker, almost intercepts it, but then gets it caught under his feet, and that allows Barnsley just to come back with the ball. 15 going to look in to try and slip it through here, bounces off the legs of the 15, and then Turner's going to carry it away. Now it's with Poole, who runs backwards here for passing it back to Jordan Lemon. Lemon carry it forward, and then going to send it long. No one really there for it. Rawson's going to come across to press, but it's well collected by the 4, and he's going to look for the diagonal for the 12, but Tinker intercepts, heads it back to Townsend. So Townsend will roll it out now, sending it long, looking for Rawson, and headed away from him and into the 8, who hooks it over his head away, further away. And then Matt Langton, who's going to hook it right back in a similar sort of way, but then the 8 pushes in the back on Turner, and it's going to be free kick, quickly taken to Lemon. Through to Poole. Little back heel, gives it to Poole. Lemon's going to charge in. Lemon going in, cuts inside, gets a big foul on the edge of the box as he was looking to make his way into the box. And it's a dangerous free kick. Just a yard outside the right-hand side of that box. Lemon with a great run. Lovely flick from Thomas Poole to allow Lemon to charge in. And it's great work from the veteran right-back. And Thomas Poole will definitely be thinking shot from here. He scored a few already from pre-season like that. Nice. Poole here standing over the ball. No one around him. There's a huge line in case he decides to cross it in. I don't think he's thinking about this. I think he's thinking shot all the way. Here it comes. He's looking for the shot. It's over the bar, but not by much. And it's actually going to be taking a deflection off the wall. It's going to be a corner kick. So it'll be an outswinger again. Like how the Steels got their goal in the first half. So Poole just standing right in front of the linesman there on that right-hand side. Bit of a mishmash in this box of Steels and Barnsley players. Poole clipping in, looks far and Ogby looks to run onto it, but the number 4 heads it away comfortably. But Turner gets onto it, passes it back to Lemon, takes a touch, will look to get it long, but it's a poor pass. 4 plays away back to Hogg, who heads it right-hand side here. Yeah, to Turner, now to Poole on the right-hand side. Decides not to go for the overlapping run of Turner. Passes it back here to Hogg, who clips it over the top to Rawson. Rawson on the right wing here. Getting a bit of push and shoving, but nothing given. Looking to get it off the number 4, but eventually it comes off 4's feet, goes back to Rawson, and then bounds out to play for a goal kick. Rawson looks a bit frustrated with himself there. 61 minutes gone in this game, and it is 1-1 here. As we lie, we might get some more substitutes coming soon. I think Ian Rich is going to talk to a few of them. Quite a few under-18s on this bench there in reserves. Well, reserves, I remember them as under-18s, but they're actually reserves now, I suppose. It'll be an interesting challenge for them to come on. The likes of Matty Lee and Ryan Mansell on the bench, as well as Kyle Austin, who's impressed in some of the friendlies we've seen him in. As well, not long here, and chested down by Jallo, well controlled to his feet then, but well in from Hogg, who then eventually gets shoved over and earns the free kick. And it's on the halfway line, which Oglesby's going to step up and take. As there has been a substitute for Barnsley, Cooper has come off. No idea who the new one is. As the ball goes along for the right-hand side, Lemons charges far down to try to keep it in, and it bounces favourably for him as he passes it back now here to Turner. Turner's going to be forced backwards and back to Hogg, then going to Lemon. Lemon cuts side, good pass off for Hogg. Hogg one touch pass into Poole. Poole's going to hit it across, and it's a great save from the substitute goalkeeper. Fantastic play from the Steels as McCaskill has it. Gets the ball through here to Hogg. One touch passing back to McCaskill. Tried to lay it across, but the offside flags up. Rawson did tuck it in from 6 yards out, but that applause there from the fans is from some brilliant one-touch passing from Stocksbridge, which has really impressed the faithful here. Back here for the substitute keeper now for Barnsley. Who has already impressed by making a good save from Thomas Poole there. Ball going long. Oglesby will head it away. And then McCaskill's in the back on chair. I think he's onside actually, but this first touch didn't help him, and it's cleared right into, I believe that's one of our sponsors there. It's been cleared into. Please make sure to keep sponsoring us, and you might have a ball pegged at you by a Barnsley youth player. Tinker throws it into Rawson, controls it well. Tries to get back to Tinker now. One touch pass to Turner. Looks to get over the top, but it's overhit it. Throw in here to Barnsley. 64 minutes gone in this game. It is 0-0. 1-1, I mean. Going down the line, head away back, Tinker to midfield, then the 8 knocks it on, but to no one in particular. Lemon's having to go back to cover it. Townsend's come out and slice that forward. The 15 is going to be Lawrence onto it, but I think it might just bounce out for a throw-in after taking a bit of an awkward bounce. Yeah, it has, and it's a quick throw-in in. Barnsley looking to catch, and here comes a shot, and it's trickles wide of the goal. Townsend looked like he had it confident going wide. I wasn't so confident about it. So back now for Townsend now to take. So Townsend waiting on the goal kick, and now we'll send it long as the sun sets here on a very lovely Stocksbridge evening. Townsend goes straight out for a throw in there. Poor kick from him. We've hit the 65-minute mark. I suspect we'll see some of the substitutes very shortly. As it goes from Langton now. Who's going to send it long. Rawson's going to look to head it on sideways. Just goes over McCaskill away from to number 4. Pass it short to the 2. He's the one who boots it away. Tijalo controls well to the 10. 10 controls. Going to try and send it along to the 12. It's a good pass here. Might have the beating of Tinker. And Tinker's just going to wrestle him down in a body slam manoeuvre. Now, you'd have seen probably at SummerSlam this weekend on the WWE. Free kick to Barnsley in a dangerous position. Oh, so Tinker there with who's had a few brutal moves in his time. This time just good old wrestling move, or maybe something you'd seen in Gladiators. That is also coming up. That was filmed in Sheffield as well. I went to see it. It was very fun. And here comes a free kick, can be hit left-footed here by Barnsley. Looking for the cross on the right-hand side. It's a really dangerous position. Here comes the ball and looking at the far end, but looks over everyone out for a goal kick into the bushes. It goes. Just feel free, by the way, if you are listening to us on here, do feel free to get involved by commenting on the live chat. It's always appreciated. We do try and shout out as many people as possible. As Townsend here will look to send this long. He does, and it's going to go long and clicks on by McCaskill, then on to Turner, who's trying to beat his man. He does, and he's some good foot, but eventually does get tackled and has it with the 10 now, spreads it out to the 12. Good control, going to look to be at the beating of Tinker. He's had a good performance against him, but this time I think he just overhit his touch there, and he goes out for a throw-in on this side. Going to go out, throwing his back to Townsend now. It's actually going to be a goal kick here. 67 minutes going in this game. With a slice ball forward, Oglesby has to try and rescue it. He does clear it off forward to Rawson. Controls it well, like to Poole now. Poole forced backwards. Then back then to Goodwin, and then he's forced backwards again, all the way back to Hogg, who's going to pass it all the way back to Townsend. And it's a big kick forward, but it's not going to get out to his own half here. And 15 heads it forward. The 12 going to race on to, but Oglesby's there first. He's just going to boot that one away. McCaskill will keep it in. But I think he's just been pushed in the back, and but it does go out, and Barnsley won't. The number 2 looks very surprised. Yeah, it's actually a Steele's throw-in. Here, Richard's just giving some instructions to some of the bench players who we should likely see soon. I keep saying that, but I feel like we're going to see him soon. Tinker here will get the throw down line, looking for Rawson, headed on into the middle for Poole, who heads it on to Goodwin, and Goodwin will knock it back. Lemon will collect it. First touch cuts inside and then tries to chip it over to McCaskill. Offside flag goes up on him, and it's going to be a free kick to the Tykes. So back here for number 5 here to say. Just taking his time. He goes into the middle. It's almost like McCaskill, but it still gets through to number 2, who's going to knock it long here. Oglesby had to go back to 12, and 12 has some space to go into, but Oglesby comes in with a slide challenge, saves that one. Goodwin tries to control, but the 15 spins away for Barnsley. And then Goodwin tries to foul him, can't foul him. 15 continuing. Gets out to the left-hand side. Poole gets another touch onto him to make it awkward for the 7. He does get it, though. Skips past one man, getting it down to my line. Cross goes in, and it's blocked here by Langton and out for a corner kick. Good looking ball it was as well. As the corner kick for Barnsley will take place over on that left wing. So number 7 taking this one, going to go for the outswinger with his left foot from that left corner. having to take a bit of an awkward run up to do it. Here it comes, looking for that far post. Townsend has to make a touch on it, and then it goes out of play for another corner kick. They tried to continue for a second, but the referee told them not to. And I can see there are quite a few substitutes lining up now. It's going to be interesting. A lot of young lads on as well. You do feel quite old when you see some of the reserves coming through, because some of them still look like they could be in school. Corner kick from Barnsley hits the top of the net. It's out for a goal kick. And here comes the substitutes. So players coming on. Henry Hampshire is going to be one of the players coming on goal. And we've got Matty Lee, Ryan Mansell, and Luca DeFalco all coming on at this point. Dan Grayson also there coming on. We'll see who's coming off in a second. And Lewis McCaskill, one of the people coming off here. So Thomas Poole. And I've just seen Carl Austin also coming on. Hogg coming off. Tinker's coming off. And Oglesby's coming off. So we're just trying to update all of this now. That's why you're going to be able to pause in the country while I update this on our team sheet on the main screen. Who's it? And coming on. I'm just so quite a lot of substitutes now. Much the younger side now fielded for Stocksbridge. Now, this for these lads is a particular side. Not just impressed Fretwell, who's on holiday. I've seen a picture from you, Mark Fretwell, if you're listening. It looks absolutely amazing, and I'm incredibly jealous. As Hampshire's first touch is a long ball forward, looking for Rawson, who'll get the full 90 today. Gets back to DeFalco, who's going to press forward. He's got a few options on his right. Going to take Goodwin on the right, puts the ball in, but it's not a great one, and it's going to go out for a goal kick. Yeah. See that Matty Lee's taken position on the left wing here for Stocksbridge. Ryan Mansell into central midfield. Cal Austin's gone on the right with Lemon switching to left back. Grayson settled into centre back, and DeFalco looks like he's taking a spot on the right wing. So, and Luke is already getting his yelled instructions, and the ball's pinged out to the left wing here. Clip forward to Jallo. Jallo controls, goes backwards and then turns, and right footed pass trying to go through, but well intercepted there by Lemon, and they're going to try and let Matty Lee through, and it's cleared before he can get to it. But Lee does add a bit of pace and a bit of tenaciousness to this wing attack. And so now he's mum, which makes me feel really old when I can say that about footballers. As Lemon throws it down, looking for Rawson, heads it down for Mansell. Mansell controls, tries to get it back to Lee, but it's intercepted and it's around him well. The Barnsley man for it goes into the 14 here, and he's going to get harassed by Mansell. I took a little nibble at his ankles, but nothing given. Back to the 4 now. He's going to take a touch, then clip it over to the right hand side to the 2, cuts inside, then Mansell's going to try and get onto it. Gets a bit of a touch, but it stays with Barnsley now, as Barnsley just seems to be taking advantage of the rhythm change after all these substitutes. And Grayson's gone in well with a good tackle. The ball went forward, but Barnsley will win that header, and then Mansell loses out to Fitzpatrick, goes to Turner. Turner's going to send it long, but collected by the 5, who will put it on to left back now. Ball goes long here onto the wing. It's a good touch. That's got the beating of Goodwin here. Yeah, and then he's been forced backwards, right foot across, loft across, going in, headed towards goal, and it's going to be well wide there. 74 minutes gone in this game. It is 1-1 between Stocksbridge and Barnsley. Both teams looking for the winner as we come towards the end of pre-season. And while pre-season has its moments, I think I can say for all of us, we cannot wait for the proper season start. Competitive football all begins on Saturday with our away trip to Stockton. Hampshire will send it long now. Falco will head it backwards, but He's collected it, headed up in there by Barnsley, and both Lee and Mansell went to front. They lost the header though, as Goodwin gets a foot onto it, goes back to the 7, who's going to a bit long to Jallo, who's going to control it, and then well in by Austin, who gets it away, but only back to the 14 for Barnsley. Barnsley have taken control since that raft of substitutions. And back here to the 5, and he's going to take it forward, try to get it through, but Lemon intercepts well, just curls behind, but Langton creeps up, goes to Matty Lee, who looks to turn. He's passed it back to Lemon, and Lemon will look to get through to Rawson now, who Silent Challenge goes in on him, and it's going to be a throw into Stocksbridge. If you'll look to see if they can get some of these younger players on the ball in attack positions. Ball going on to Rawson, who chests it down. Lee gets a foot onto it, but cleared away by Barnsley. Back to Lemon, who takes a touch, and then tackled by Barnsley out for another throw into the Steels. Matty Lee takes it quickly, about 10 yards in front of where it should have been, but Barnsley eventually do head it away, and he goes back to the 10, who clears it out. It's a long ball forward for the 12 to chase, and it's going to go back into the box. Well, Hampshire's going to clear it back to the 10, who chests it down. Hampshire has to get back into his area, because I think he might have gone for it if he'd spotted the opportunity that awakened, and now it's on to the left-hand side. Goodwin goes in with a good tackle, stops that attack, and pass it back to Austin, who's going to clip it long, but to no one in particular. And number 4 is going to watch that and then pass it back. It's not a great pass back, and I think if Rawson or DeFalco had been a bit quicker, they might have been able to make something of it. Instead, the Barnsley keeper's able to get onto it and clears it upfield. Throwing for Stocksbridge, and one of the young lads behind the goal is going all the way to chase that one. Like, I think he's coming back. Wait, is the ball ever coming back? Here it is. Austin throws it to Goodwin, then back to Austin, who clips it long. DeFalco will look to chase it, but the number 5 heads it back out for a throw in here. So another throw in here. Austin throws it into the middle to Turner, then back here to Langton, who's going to get it back all the way to Townsend. Barnsley under 21's manager shouting to go up, and the number 12 almost closed down Hampshire. Hampshire does get it away though, and it's well won in midfield by Barnsley. I think they're going to get it to number 2, and then long forward, but it's going to go bounce all the way back to Hampshire here. 76 minutes gone in this game. It is 1-1 between Stocksbridge and Barnsley. Rolls down front, and he's going to send this one long, looking for Rawson, but headed away. Back to Goodwin, who's going to head it forward. DeFalco tried to get control of it. Instead, it's going to be cleared away by the number 5 and back into midfield, and collected well by Jallo. Back into midfield. Mansell will chase. Ball clipped long over the top, and then Hampshire will collect it. A bit too far, that one. Right, Hampshire just hold on to the ball now. Just bounces it a couple of times, and then left-footed ball going long, looking for DeFalco, but cut out in midfield, and Grayson fights for it, and he's going to bounce awkward, but the offside flag goes on Jallo. Oh, I thought it was actually offside. It's actually the offside. The linesman did give the offside, but the free kick foul for Barnsley was given first. But then we're not sure what's actually happening. I think it will be a Stockbridge free kick, and no one particularly knows what the hell is going on. But now, and then eventually, the referee now decides it is going to be a Barnsley free kick because the foul was before the offside. So we've just had a bit of running back and forth from both teams getting into the right positions. And the ball goes on the left-hand side here. Just seeing that Matty Lee's been lifted up as a potential counter-attacking opposite. See, ball goes into the box, headed away by Grayson. DeFalco controls and gets across to Austin, and Austin's got some space moving into him. We've seen in some other friendlies how quick he is. Beats one man, but then he gets well covered, and now Barnsley will look to see if they can launch the counter-attack. Austin's trying to recover from it. Get 15 here. Austin a bit out of position because he recovered from it, and they're going to try and use that to get to the left wing, but the 12 wasn't in position to get it, and then well covered by Turner, who goes and clears it out to be a throw-in. On the left-hand side, goes back into their defence. And then still playing passing on their midfield by Barnsley. Back into the defence now. That's just controlling it. Stockbridge aren't really pressing like they have done in previous friendlies. All the way back to the goalkeeper now. The substitute goalkeeper made an impressive save from Thomas Poole. Sending it long, looking for number 2, but Lemon heads it away, and then Lee will control. Lee turns, passes essentially to Goodwin. Goodwin lays it back up to Lee. Great work from Lee and Goodwin. Lee on the left-hand side, controls, goes back onto his left foot, puts the cross in, look for Goodwin, chests it down. Will pass it back to Lee. First time cross from Lee, just slices it out for a goal kick. Good play from Matthew Lee. Let down a bit by that final ball, but impressive work to begin with anyway. So it's back for the Barnsley reserve goalkeeper to take this, and he takes it short to the 5. He decides to go around, then sends it long here. Look for the run of the 12, and he's got the beat and agrees, and he might be through here. The number 12 sends it over Hampshire, and Barnsley are ahead. So it's one football. It's as simple as you can get, just over the top of everyone, beats the defenders. The number 12 gets onto it. It's a great finish over the top of Hampshire, and Barnsley now lead 2-1. And it does look like the Steels will not be happy having an unbeaten pre-season, which is, obviously doesn't matter for anything in the big long run of things. Doesn't give you any extra points, but it's a shame nonetheless. However, there is still 10 minutes left of this game, so who knows what might happen in that. So it's the number 12, the substitute came on at half-time for Barnsley. And it is, I think what will be disappointing is just the manner of the goals conceded. A long ball over the top. Which a bit of ball watching from the Steel's defence. It's a long distance shot from Barnsley that's going to go well wide. They were trying their luck there. And it's going to go back for a goal kick. There's a bit of bashing somewhere in this ground. I can't tell where it's from. Hampshire will send it long here. Headed away by the number 10, and only back to Lemon is going to send it long, and Falco might have the beat, and the man in the offside flag doesn't go up. It's not going to go up. He just doesn't get the complete control of it. Falco is going to run at his man. Looks to get inside, trying to bulldoze his way through before passing back to Turner, who spreads it out to Austin on the right-hand side. Goes well. Cross goes in. Block. Corner kick. Steals. And we're just seeing how Steels are set up now. We've got a few substitutes on. The youngsters, unsurprisingly, considering they're the shortest lines on the pitch. Mansell and Lee will stay outside of the box. Mansell's is being used as counter cover. I think Matty Lee will take the edge of the box while the rest of them will be in it. Here comes a corner. Turner takes a corner. Missed header, but the keeper punches it away. It's going to go out for a throw-in on that right-hand side. That means Grayson's going to head back. And now it's going to be a throw-in but we're just waiting for the ball to come back because I think maybe some of the lads over in the other pitch have taken it. A bit like how the Year 11s used to take the balls from Year 8s during football if it went near them. As the throw-in goes in here to Turner. Turner going towards the flag. Back here to DeFalco, then back to Austin, who gets it back to DeFalco. Some good passing. Here comes the cross in, and then somehow Goodwin from the near post. Well, I think actually, I thought Goodwin, I think it come off a Barnes, but I'm thinking it's another corner kick. I was just about to put Goodwin on blast then for missing that one. It's going to be another corner, though. So back here for Turner, who's going to take this next corner kick. Stocksbridge have a lot of people forward here. Ball going into the box, and this header, and then Goodwin just heads it over. Diving header in the box as the Barnsley keeper misses his punch. It's just over from the captain. Really could be 2-2 there. 83 minutes gone in this game. 7 minutes till the end. Goodwin immediately again on the press, and he does almost get succeeded. I guess a bit of a touch as the ball goes forward, and Barnsley just have to knock it long to get it away from Goodwin. And then it goes long, and Austin's just going to follow this one. Take the touch to stop it going out of play. Passes it back to Hampshire. Hampshire will control it and then send it long here, but back into defence, and it's going to be clipped long, and it's actually Jallow in an offside position, but the 14's onto it, and the 14's onto it, and he finishes. And it felt like he's just gone through her completely free. No one really tracking him. And Barnsley have another, and it's becoming a bit of a disappointing end to pre-season for the Stocksbridge. Again, the defence has just turned off, and he's raced through. And what has been not a great performance by Stocksbridge, but solid enough, has turned into be a bit disappointing here at the end. There's 2 goals conceded in the last 10 minutes. And I think we'll talk to Ian Richards about this in the post-match press conference, as in me talking to Ian. It's not really a press conference; it's an interview of sorts. We'll talk because I think what he's going to be frustrated about is that those goals conceded were pretty simple. They didn't have to make Barnsley work very hard for them. And Lemons just fouled them, moving more out of frustration there. 85 minutes gone. It's 3-1 to Barnsley now. As it looks like, with fans now have decided to make the trip home here now. The ball goes long, and the 12 here, one of the goal scorers, will knock it out right here before being forced backwards, and then Lemon controls it, but controls it out of play, throwing on the right-hand side. Number 2 here will come over to take this throw. Throw goes into the box, 12 on the right side, clips the ball, looking for the far end, but it's going to go over on Austin. Will volley that one away. Boots goes right out of play, smashes off the fence over on the opposite side. Throwing goes into the 14, controls it inwards, good play, but intercepted by Goodwin. Just to think it was a minute after Goodwin had just headed just over the bar. Shows you how crucial some of these last-ditch tackles and misses can be in games. Goodwin controls back to Austin, who takes touch, tries to get through, but caught by Barnsley, and it's going to be a Steele's throw-in. Austin throwing it down the line, headed on by DeFalco. Rawson tries to control, and he does, and he's going to race in here. Rawson passes one man, continues despite the trip. On the right side, puts the ball across. DeFalco misses it, and then the number 10 clears out play before Matty Lee can get on the end of it. Corner kick for it. He was tripped. Yeah, he was tripped. Corner kick for the Steels. See if they can get one back here before the end. 86 minutes gone, with it being the Steels now losing 3-1. And plenty of people in the box here for this one. Clip one going in, good in right side, but he doesn't get the direction on the header at all. He rises above everyone, right, but he sends it pretty much back in the direction it came, and it's a goal kick. So back now for the Barnsley goalkeeper to take this. As Barnsley are currently on the way to a victory in Stocksbridge's last friendly of the summer, which will deny us that unbeaten pre-season, which looked like it was going to happen for a while. Ball goes long here, and then it's just headed back from Langton all the way back to Hampshire. He'll take his time over it, the former Sheffield United goalkeeper. Takes a few bounces here. For rolling out in front of him, left-footed, going forward, looking for DeFalco, who will miss that header, go away to the number 10 of Barnsley, who is getting harassed by Mansell, but he's going to be forced backwards, and all the way back to the goalkeeper, who will clear it forward. Chester by Jalba. Something go back to Goodwin here. Opens it, lays it out to DeFalco on the right wing. DeFalco just needs a quality ball here. Going to peg it back here, looking for Turner. Just can't get the touch, but almost at the second one. It's a last-ditch challenge from Barnsley. And they're going to carry, and they're going to look for the counter-attack here. Ball goes through into the centre, and then looking to get it onto the left-hand side. But it's well tackled by Austin, who clears it out for a throw-in here. 88 minutes gone, 3-1 to Barnsley. So as we get to the last 2 minutes of this game, left-hand side for the Tykes, and then they knock it off a Steel's man, and then actually it's going to be kept in before it eventually does go out with a second touch, and they throw in here to Barnsley. And it's just on this left-hand side here. Back to the 15, back onto the left-hand side, and then Austin will intercept. He's been forced backwards here. Eventually, he just gets it forward to DeFalco. DeFalco will send it long, looking for Rawson, who chests it down well. Some space for him there as he passes it back to DeFalco, who's going to knock it long. One for Matty Lee to try and chase, but it's going to bounce into the box, and the keeper will collect that one. And he's going to just allow a bit of time to go here before sending it out to his centre-back here. Through to the 14, the third goal scorer for Barnsley. Back in the centre-back then. Back to the 14. It was just a little spin for reasons I can't particularly tell why, but it's as if he pressed a button on the PS4 controller and didn't really know what he was doing, but no one got tackled him during that, so you can't blame him. So throwing on the left-hand side, back to the centre-back, Kieran. Onto the left-hand side and back into the centre-back. Barnsley happy to pass it onto the defence as it goes over to the goalkeeper. And that is full time here. So Stocksbridge Clarksdale's in their final friendly have lost 3-1 here. Barnsley took the lead, corner kick, whipped in and headed in by the rising number 6. Equaliser came just before the end of half. A corner that was eventually knocked in after initially hitting the bar by Luke Hart. In the second half, just after the 80th minute, ball over the top was finished really well by the number 12. And then a few minutes later, it was another ball through. A simple one that was finished by the 14. So the Steels, unfortunately, do not finish pre-season unbeaten. This loss condemns us to that. But it was been a really good pre-season. So many impressive results, especially last Tuesday against FC United. We start on Saturday against Stockton Town, away up in Teesside. We hope that you can join us. Roger, is coach travel still available for Stockton on Saturday? If you want to travel with us on the coach, it is £10. I'm just waiting. Each way return. If you pay less than that, we will dump you in some random place in Middlesbrough. But if you want to get that, do email rpg@sps.mail. Well, rpg.sps@mail.com, and you can get on our coach. If you can't make it, we will be there with commentary, just like we were last time. We look forward to seeing you, whether you come to the Mac Group UK Stadium or not. I've been Adam Allcroft, your commentator. We are sponsored by Jason Rawson, carpet fitter and supplier. We will see you then on Saturday. Thank you very much, everyone, for listening.